Okay, everybody, we are here again for another IG Live series. This time is not in Instagram, this time is on Zoom, but it's called Shifting Home to Create a Better World. And today we have the pleasure to have our volunteer, Lu Urdaneta. She is the Director of Gratitude and Recognition for Monal Global. She actually the chief, what, Lu?
Chief Culture Officer.
Chief Cultural Officer. Amazing.
Yes,
One of the biggest
thank you.
multi-level marketing organizations I think in the world, and
Yes,
she's here today giving her time back, right? And as a
yes,
way we have all mentioned, before in the other IG series that we have done, that I hope that these interviews not only inspire you, with the message that Lou is going to share, but most important that you get excited to also raise your hands
mhm,
and give back.
yes,
So Lou, how are you doing?
100%.
Tell me a little bit about you and the beautiful work that you do at Monal Global.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Actually, I got so excited when you reached out because you know how much I admired everything you do and how much I admire you. So spending this time is really valuable for me. I got super happy about it. So thank you. But Monad or Monate, that's a debate. How do you pronounce it?
How you pronounce
In
it? Okay.
Spanish is Monat.
Okay.
In English is Monate, because well, I don't even, it's not even like with my accent you wouldn't even understand really, because it's modern nature, so it's like Monate.
Okay.
So that's the way you pronounce it. And as you said, we are a network marketing company. We started here in the US. We're based in Miami, and we are also in Canada, UK, Poland, Ireland, and yes, just growing. And yeah, very grateful for all the opportunities that we have had over the past 6 years. And within the company, we have a very big movement, a very big focus on giving back, which you know. We have worked on different projects together to make sure our employees are always motivated and are always participating, volunteering, giving their time, and engaged really with the whole concept of gratitude, which for us really is, it's about thinking beyond your bubble, right? We always talk about like gratitude and showing gratitude, and thinking about others is all about getting out of your own world and see how you can impact someone else's life. So that's something we do internally. We do with our team, with our employees, but we also do with our market partners. We talk we talk about this all the time at every single event, at every single trip we do, uh, probably at everything we do. It's around gratitude and how are we making an impact in someone else's life.
Now, why? Why does gratitude, why giving back, why volunteer matters to you, first of all?
Well, um, I always say, I'm very respectful about talking spirituality, religion, and all of that, because I respect everyone's
Sure.
points of views and beliefs. But for me, giving is such an spiritual thing. So for me, giving give you the opportunity to grow, because again, when you are not focused only on you and you start like going out helping other people, you start realizing that the world is not only you and your problems and what's happening to you. And I believe that helps you grow. I believe, and you know this, we are a vessel, right? We are like a cup. And every time we give a little bit more, we expand that cup. And every time we impact someone else's life, our cup gets bigger. And therefore, we're going to be able to receive more. So for me, giving seems to be helping other people, but it's all about us. It's all about an internal work and internal, like it's a journey, like a journey of self discovery. Because as you give, as you impact someone else's life, you start realizing, oh, it's not about me. It's not about them. I'm sorry. It's not about the person I'm helping. It's about me. When I make time for someone else, when I put myself a little bit aside for someone else, when I put someone else as a priority, not all the time. First of all, not all the time. And second, you have to be very clear of who you are and where you are in life to be able to say, okay, I'm putting someone else as a priority right now. Not all the time, because you cannot give what you don't have. You need to have it first. So whatever you want to give, you need to have it yourself first, right? um but for me, it's all about that. It's like giving is, I'm helping myself, I'm making myself better, I'm helping myself to be able to receive more of the blessings God has for me.
Wow, amazing. It's very interesting that you're saying that, because our, share nest logo, it's two eggs in a nest, right? And our slogan is
Uh-huh.
share what you get, right? You get
Yes,
what you share, you get what you share, right? And why? Well,
I
obviously,
love that.
you get what you share is that every time that you're giving back, you not only
Mm-hmm.
do the favor to yourself, is the one that get the most out of it. But why is an egg inside of a nest? Because
Mm-hmm.
we really believe that the actions of sharing are really what
Mm-hmm.
define who you are. So very similar to what you
Totally.
so it's like very, very special.
Well, and to your question, like the why, it's also because when we were putting the company together, I remember with my brother, my siblings, my father, um, it has always been very important for us to share, to give, to make sure it's not only about us. Actually, for us, that's why we love network marketing. We love this channel, we love this industry, because in order for you to be successful in this industry, your team needs to be successful. Your leaders, you need to build leaders, you need to invest in someone else in order for you to be able to grow. So what is more spiritual than that? Like the only way for me to reach success is that
Okay.
my people are successful.
Wow, amazing.
So, but at the very beginning, we said, you know what, we want to make sure we do philanthropy as we used to do before in our business in Venezuela, but we want this to be a little bit different. And for me, at the time, 6 years ago, I was like very deep into my spiritual journey. And I remember just thinking a lot about, we're going to have a platform and people are going to be listening, and hopefully thousands of people will be listening to a message we have to say. So it's a huge responsibility. It's not like only offering a nice car and a beautiful house, then that can be grown. Like, we all want that and we all like that, and well, I like that, I really like and enjoy that, but it's not only about that. It goes beyond. So how can I make sure I use my platform in a way that goes beyond having the dream life from a material standpoint? It's not only like that, it's more. If you commit to this company, it's gonna be changing your life financially, but also changing your life because you're gonna get into a mindset of giving and making an impact in someone else's life. It's not only gonna be about you, and it will never be about you, because in the moment that it is only about you, you're losing,
Yeah.
and it's not going to be sustainable. So we decided to name this area of the company gratitude, because I believe that you can keep the blessings that you have gratitude towards. Like, I am going to be able to keep a relationship if I'm grateful for that relationship, even when it's bad. It's good or it's bad, but I'm grateful for this, I'm going to be able to keep this blessing. Same thing with our business, same thing with everything in your life. If you are grateful, that specific thing you're grateful for will grow. If you're not, if you start to complain, if you start to look for the things that are bad, which, by the way, there will always be things that are not good
Good.
enough for you, right? So if you start to focus on that, that's not going anywhere. So for me, gratitude is a way to keep your blessing. And for us, it was like, oh, let's just call it money gratitude, so we can focus our market partners, our field, our employees, we can focus them on appreciating this blessing, appreciating the blessing we have with this business, this product, this company.
Wow, this is amazing. And do you have any like story that maybe have changed your life while giving back, or even some of your marketing partners that are like, wow, it changed their
Hmm.
life when they realized this
Hmm.
this concept, or through the actions they,
Yeah.
wow.
I feel like for me at the like at the beginning of the company, as I said, I was on my spiritual journey and I was volunteering a lot.
Okay.
And I remember with my teachers, my mentors, maybe you came in into the movie like 4 years ago,
Okay.
but I remember at the time my teacher taught me a lot about the importance of volunteering and giving, because I remember he used to say it will be impressive for you to realize that when you start volunteering, you're gonna have more time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy because you're giving time, but you're gonna realize you're gonna be able to do more things within your day. And going through that process, I realized that I was volunteering almost every day at the time. I had like, I was mentoring, I had like 20 plus people under me, and I was working full time. I remember at the time I was also acting, like I was doing so many things, and I started realizing the the concept of, oh, if you give, you're gonna have more. So that changed my life, that period of time where I was volunteering so much, because I started realizing, oh, when you stop focusing only on you and you make time every day for someone else, right now for me it's more of my family, because I have a big family and I'm trying to focus on supporting them. But at the time they were not here, so I was focusing on helping these people. I realized that, oh my god, yes, this makes a huge difference. I'm actually able to do more things. That's crazy. Like, that changed my life because that changed my perspective, that changed my lenses, right? It was like, oh my god, like everything changed for me. So bringing this concept at the very beginning was just about, oh, let's just volunteer here and there and find out what is going to be our focus as a company, right? But then with time, talking about this concept over and over on stage, or maybe in front of a camera, or on different calls with the teams and with the market partners, and they started to actually doing it. They started to volunteering, they started to donate money, they started doing so many things, and they started telling me, Lu, yes, this works, this is crazy, but you're right. When I get out of myself, when I get out of me, my life changed. And yeah, I mean, I do have a lot of different stories. It has been almost 5 years, because the first year of the company, it was kind of like the preparation for gratitude to take off, and just talking a lot about it, showing a lot the different things that I was doing. That's why I always tell people, don't be afraid of sharing with people when you volunteer. Don't be afraid when you do something nice. Don't be afraid to share that on social media, or with your friends on a text group or whatever. Like, share, talk to them about the things you're doing, because you're inspiring someone else. And many people tell me like, oh, but I don't want to look like, um, I learned this word the other day, I don't want to look like it is takenism. I think that's the way you pronounce it. They don't want to look like they are doing it just because they want to look nice. And I always say, like, well, check your intention. Check your intention. Why are you doing it? Are you posting, are you sharing because you want to look like a nice person? People will feel that. If you share it because you want to inspire someone else, and because you really want to create some consciousness or wake people will also feel that. But you should share it. It's important. And shareness, it's all about that. It's about sharing how you're helping others, of course, because that's the only way you're going to be able to inspire someone else. Like, how am I going to tell someone else, go and volunteer, without talking about it, right? Without saying, this is how volunteering changed my life. This is how giving changed my life. This is how focusing on someone else changed my life. There's no other way than sharing it.
Lazy. Wow. So, I mean, we're gonna jump now into the main topic of this conversation, but I think you mentioned actually a lot about it, right? Which is, I think you described a little bit of your journey to self-empowerment in this process, right? But so before
Yeah.
we get into that, let me ask you just a question from everything that I got. Do you think gratitude is the secret for self-discovery?
Huh. Uh, I think it's a huge part of it. It's a
Amazing.
huge part of it, because self discovery, self empowerment, it's a never ending process. It's like, we call it, you and I know about this, like the spiritual gym, right? The spiritual gym doesn't have days off. It's like you don't have a day off. You're not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna relax today. No, because it's a never ending process, literally. Like, what you're working on today, it's going to be different to what you're going to be working on a year from now. You're going to be a bigger a bigger cup, a bigger vessel, and you're going to be a different person. That's just like what it is. That's the reality, right? So, but in that process, yes, you should be grateful. You should be practicing gratitude. And gratitude, by the way, it's your own formula. It's how it works for you, for the person you are. I was talking about this on a podcast this week. What is my gratitude practice might not be your gratitude practice. Why? Because my nature is very different to your nature. I am a very giving person. For instance, Lu, I'm super giving. I'm always thinking about someone else. I'm always thinking about my family, thinking about my partner, always thinking about how can I help? How can I help someone, right? So for me, my gratitude practice is about me.
Amazing.
It's about myself. It's about having time for me. It's about finding time to do things that I like, that I love. It's about being alone a couple of hours a day or hours a week. So that's my gratitude practice. That is how I kind of recharge, so I can go and give what I want to give. But for you, maybe no, maybe you're a little bit more selfish on your day-to-day basis. So your gratitude practice might be getting out of yourself and text someone, call someone, do something for your community. So I always say gratitude is so unique, it's so personal. So when you ask me, is part of self-discovery? 100%. But once you find your formula, once you really understand, this is my gratitude formula, this is the way I practice gratitude. For some people, it might be meditation. For some other, might be writing down what you're grateful for. But it's always gonna be different, because we are all individuals. We're all so different, right? So finding your gratitude formula so you can have a gratitude practice, it's a huge part of self-discovery, because then you're also finding out so many things about you, right? And then you're going to say, oh, this is a gift that I have, I'm so grateful for. I'm grateful, like, this is my giving side, my intuition, my almost Lu, right, my almost motherhood nature that I have towards people. It's my gift, but I have to nurture that. And for me to take care of that means take care of you, take care of Lu, make sure you are okay, so you can give and nurture and love other people. So it's definitely a huge part. But again, it's almost like this, hand in hand, right? You can practice gratitude, have a gratitude practice, but you need to know yourself. You need to understand who you are and how you recharge, and what is gratitude for you.
Wow, amazing.
Mhm.
And you seem, you know, I think especially since the time that I've met you, you seem that you have gone through a very beautiful process, right?
Thank you. Yes.
Connecting, finding more really what's not only your voice, what is your
Yeah.
gift, and finding
Yeah.
more this fulfillment, right? Real fulfillment.
Yeah. Yes.
I can even feel that, right? Your energy seems to be balanced. It's just like amazing.
Yeah.
A little bit about
Thank
this
you.
journey. Like, how was
Yeah.
this process? How did it started? What were the challenges in it and the revelations?
Well, for me, I've always been a very spiritual person. Like, I've always feel very connected to God. I've always feel a very like close relationship with God. But when I found Kabbalah, almost 7 years ago, I learned really the concept of giving and receiving, right? And I feel like that was a turning point in my life, because I learned the game of life. I learned, oh my God, yeah, this is what's all about. So that's when everything kind of really started for me, and from there it has evolved into a beautiful path of self discovery. A lot of being my friend, and how can I be my friend, like. And I don't, not every day is perfect, you know. A lot of people ask me like, Lu, how is it that you're always so positive, or so your energy is always so great? And I'm like, well, not every day. I just want you to know that. And not every time of the day, you know. I cry when I feel overwhelmed. Yesterday I cried because I'm going through a transition in my life. A couple of things are changing, and I'm trying to be very understanding of myself. Like, I'm trying to understand, like, oh, you know, I feel overwhelmed with everything that's happening. So let me just take a little bit of time to observe what's happening, right? So I can understand me. So what I was saying, since Kabbalah, I feel like my journey has been all about becoming my friend, becoming my best friend, becoming my best supporter, becoming my fan,
Okay.
becoming even my mom, you know, becoming. And why, while that has happened, I have also realized that my relationship with God is so internal. And I always talk about your for me it's the same to say my relationship with God and my relationship with myself. For
Wow.
me it's the same. It's my concept, right? I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's the way I see it. I always say checking with yourself when I'm going to make a decision, when I'm doing something, when I'm saying something. I'm like, does this feels good with me, which is with God, right? Is this decision that I'm making serving my relationship with myself, which is my relationship with God, right? What am I actually making stronger by making this decision? Am I serving my fear? Am I serving my relationship with my dad, with my mom, with my friend, with my sister? Or is this serving the relationship with me? And it sounds a little bit contradictory. I think that's the way you say, because I was saying focus on someone else, and right now I'm saying it needs to serve me, right? But that's all about the process of self-discovery, because you need, again, what I said, you cannot give what you don't have. So yes, you should be focusing on giving and on other people, but it should also be serving the relationship you have with God. It should always feel okay. The other day, my sister told me, Lu, she called me, right? Oh my God, I feel bad because I was on the Starbucks and I saw a homeless and I only had $50 bills. And I was like, should I give him? Probably he's going to use it for drugs. I feel bad. And then I felt worst about not doing it than doing it. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna give it to him because I'm gonna feel worst if I don't do it. Did I did I do good? You know, she's my little sister. So she was calling me and I said, you know what? Again, this is just my philosophy. I'm not good or the good or grown, and it's just the way I see life. I said, if you felt like that was being honest with yourself, if you felt like that decision, what was the decision that was serving you, which is your relationship with God, then that's fine. It's regardless of what he was going to do with that money, because you did what you knew in your heart was good for you, for yourself. If you didn't feel like it and you didn't do it, that doesn't make you a bad person. Many times I say no when people ask me, do you want to donate $2 to this organization? No. And I don't feel bad about it. I just don't feel like it in the moment. And I am very clear on other things that I'm doing. I'm very clear on how I'm giving my time, how I'm investing my money in trying to make an impact. See that I said trying, because we don't even know if we're helping or not when we give. So
Okay.
that's why, again, it needs to go back to you. You never know if you're really helping someone. And you know about this, Joseph. We never know. You have to do it because you feel like this is the right thing to do. I feel it in my heart. I know God and me in this relationship. I know this is okay. Now, what's going to happen? Am I really helping or not? That's out of my control,
Can't
you know?
control, right? And there's the story of, like, you need to push the rock, but but God moves the rock, right? So as long as you're doing your part of pushing it, the rest comes with it. Amazing. Now, within
Exactly.
a self, I think some people know a little bit of my story, right, of self discovery, which
Yeah.
was through some trouble, right? I was working in business, and I was like director of a school. Then I got into a very, very difficult time, ended up, you know, almost like getting depressed, quit everything,
Mm-hmm.
went to volunteer,
Yes.
right? That changed my life,
Yes.
found really the power of giving, not only connected
Mm-hmm.
really much deeper level with Kabbalah, but most important, really, I think
Yeah.
we're able to understand the energy that I want to bring to the world. I think that's very important.
Mm-hmm.
So my question here is: it is always the case that you have to go through difficulties to find, you know, uh, to have self empowerment. To this path is always difficult. How was it for you? Like it was always also through the process of some trouble, or it doesn't have to be that way, in your perspective?
I think my perspective is very straightforward. I think there is no light without darkness.
Amazing.
And I believe that. And once you accept that, you start seeing trouble or difficulties in a different way.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, you need to, yes, you should go through. And hey, trouble and difficulties is going to look different for everyone. But usually you need to feel uncomfortable to feel like I want to change. I want to discover more of myself. I want to feel like I want to feel empowered. I want to feel like I can help someone else with my perspective, with the way I see life. You need to feel uncomfortable because no one is going to be like, oh, you know what? I'm so comfortable. I feel so great. My life is so amazing that I should look for opportunities to give because I'm so comfortable. No one is going to say that because when you're too comfortable, you're too focused on you. When you're too comfortable, it's all about you. When you're too comfortable, it's too good. It's too comfy. It's like I always say, if you're too comfortable, watch out. Like, why are you so comfortable? Even when you're in the greatest moment in your life, look for uncomfort. And again, uncomfort is going to be different for everyone. I'm not saying, go look for trouble. No, look for uncomfort. Like, if you're getting too comfortable, make sure you are awake and you say, I'm too comfortable. I might not be growing. I might be steady. And in my opinion, when you're steady, you're going backwards, actually. That's
Nice.
just also my perspective.
What
If
about?
you're too steady, you're going backwards. You're not growing.
Wow.
So yeah, I do think, Joseph, that difficulties for me, it was different actually than from you. Like, I know a little bit of your story, and for me it was not about that, but it was always about feeling a little bit depressed, um feeling a lot of uncertainty, a
Yeah.
lot of uncertainty, a lot of like anxiety, like what's going to be my future? Am I going to find love? Am I going to be rich or poor? Am I going to be famous? Am I going to work with my family? Am I going to be an actress? What am I going to do in my life, from a very young age. So I feel like giving, volunteering, spirituality, Kabbalah made me understand that, first of all, it made me understand that I'm a whole, that I am not one thing or the other. So that kind of took off a little bit of the anxiety that I had. It made me understand that I am a businesswoman and I'm an artist. I'm
Amazing.
both. And that's okay, and I can do things with that. And I can do actually amazing things with that. And I can think of things like money gratitude thanks to that, and if I wouldn't have recognized that power, things like this might not be happening in this way. Maybe they were going to be channeled through someone else in a different way, but they were channeled through me with my talents as an artist and as a business person. So first of all, that uncomfort and that trouble and that difficulties that I went through made me made me understand that I'm everything, that I am everything that I want to be, that I can be a mom, not yet, but eventually, if God wants. I can be a mom and be sexy. I can be a CEO and be fun and be young and be sexy and be who I am. You know, like there is nothing kind of like defining me. And I feel for me that the difficulty and the challenges combined then with my spirituality journey and my self-empowerment and self-discovery journey brought me to this point, to a point into where I can say, I'm everything. You cannot tell me I'm one thing. I'm everything. And God wants to give me everything. So do not put me in a box, you know. To my family members, to my friends, to my followers, to anyone, do not put me in a box because I'm everything. I know I have learned that with my relationship with God, which is my relationship with myself. And then trouble or uncomfort also taught me, like, you know, the anxiety of the future taught me a lot to be in the present, working towards my future, but then volunteering and giving taught me a lot of being in the present. Because you cannot give and volunteer being anxious about the future. You can only doing being present. If you're gonna read to a kid, for instance, you have to be present. If you're gonna serve food, you have to be present. If you're gonna, whatever actually you're gonna do for volunteering, give you a great opportunity to be fully present, which is so difficult for us right now.
True, absolutely. No, to share a little bit on that too, is like I remember one time that I was going through a lot, negative thoughts, doubts, fears, and I went
Mhm.
to my mentor, and he came to me and he said, when you start your Hollywood movies on your mind, remember one thing, you know, go share. It's
Yes.
impossible for you to really serve a coffee to somebody and care for how you prepare that coffee if you have a movie in your mind. Automatically, when you think about somebody else, boom, the negative thoughts disappear, right? So,
Yes.
especially in the times that we are, right? Challenging times,
Yeah.
trying times. What would you
Hmm.
tell the people? What would be like your message to the world within this, like that it's inspiring them?
I would I would say that in my experience, every crisis brings opportunities.
Amazing, absolutely.
And it has it, you know, it's everything I've seen in my life. And yeah, I might be young. I think I look younger than I am. I'm not going to say my age. No, I'm almost 30 years old. And in my life, I feel like I've realized, you know, every time I've gone through a crisis, it's actually a big moment of opportunity and growth. So everything that's happening right now, I see it as that. And actually I think it's part of like my family DNA, the way that as a family we behave and we talk about things and we approach every situation. It's about finding the opportunity, finding the good thing. Like it's never, you'll never hear us complaining about, oh my God, this is what's happening, we have to go through this, or no, like that's not part of the language in my family. And I am very grateful for my father, for many different things. Of course, he's the patriarch leader in my family, but many different things. But I think the most important one is his mindset. His
Oh,
mindset is always about look for the opportunity. Are you gonna cry or are you gonna do something about it? Right? Like you can cry if you want, but that's not gonna solve the situation. It's not gonna help you. So if you wanna do something about it, then do it. If you wanna find an opportunity in this crisis, you're gonna find it. If you want, if you look for it, if you knock doors, if you like look in different things, in different areas, in different parts, you're gonna find an opportunity. I remember around 10 years ago, I had just moved to the US and we had to close our business at the time in Venezuela because of the political and economical situation at the time. And it was such a difficult decision for my family. I was involved with the company, not as much as I am right now, but I was very involved. And I remember we were crying. We were just like so completely just devastated by the whole situation. It was a huge crisis. But from that crisis, Monet was born.
Well,
From that crisis, we went into like, we need to do something about this. We need, like, we don't have a business, we don't have income, we don't have, like, we don't have employees. Like, I remember we had like a Miami was the headquarters, and we were in Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, and Mexico. And in Miami, we had around 30 some employees. At the time, we left like 7 people in the team because we were like, we don't know what are we going to do. From that crisis, we started thinking, kind of like even coming up with ideas, like, let's brainstorm, what are we going to do? From that crisis, Monade was born. And that's one example. That's only one example of a crisis that I've seen, that I have experienced, that I know has brought a big blessing. So for me, these are challenging times, yes, but these are very transformative times. And every transformation process is painful. Like, I would like to tell you something different. I would like to tell you, oh yeah, transformation is great. It's so awesome to go through transformation. Transformation sucks. It's painful. Like, who wants to go through pain? But I do want to transform. I want to make sure that I leave this world in my best version possible. As much as I can grow, I want to make sure that I grow. So every time I'm feeling the pain, I'm like, I know I'm transforming, and that's okay. I am feeling the pain. So this is a time, I believe, for that. It's a time to understand that we are transforming, and it's even more painful because it's not only you, it's a collective transformation. Like, we are all changing in as a world population. Not even like, oh, we're changing as a country, we're changing as a city, we're changing, the world is changing. And so it is painful, but if you want to find opportunities, if you want to grow, if you want to transform, you will. You will, if you want. But if you don't, then you're going to cry. And that's okay. That's your decision, but nothing's going to come out of that.
that's special. It's like, life is that transformational journey, right? For
Yeah.
getting to your best self. So I really
Yeah.
feel it's sort of looking like when you go to the gym, right? When you go to the gym and you really want to get a six pack, it hurts. It's part of the
Oh,
process.
yeah. Yes. Yes. I'm going through that process right now. So, yes,
Absolutely.
it really hurts.
Right? So I think if people looked at this, one thing that has really helped me, and some of the people that I talked to as a mindset for this moment, is to really think about how can you add value. Right? If you have the mantra of how today can I add value, and not be so
Mhm.
busy with the noise of the media and the noise of people talking and, oh my God, what's going to happen, and
Yeah.
even the noises of your own emotions, and you be
Yeah.
busy with adding value. I think then all of a sudden you can ease the pain a little bit more, and then
Yeah.
hopefully grow through the transformation, right?
Totally. I love that. I love the concept of adding value. It's always about that too. Well, it's I was saying, like, giving has a lot to do with how much you know yourself.
Absolutely.
Because again, you cannot give what you don't have. So how can you add value is a great question you can ask yourself. So you start knowing more about your talents, about your gifts, about, just your nature. So you say, okay, maybe, you know, volunteering time is not, it's not what fulfills me, but giving money fulfills me because I work very hard for my money, but it's part of how am I adding value, how much I know about me, how much, I understand what gratitude means for me.
Amazing. Lou, I think it was like, we're supposed to talk for 30 minutes. We talked for so
We
special.
can talk for another hour, I think. I
Right.
enjoy my conversations with you so much.
So first of all, thank you so much, not only for your time here with us, but most important, your wisdom. I think it was very, very inspiring and
Thank
very
you.
beautiful to see where you are in your
Thank
life.
you so much.
And I think
Thank
the people that are listening, you know, really not only obviously appreciate everything that we have shared here, but most important, find a way to always connect to your, unique talent, and just look to your right, look to your left, and really try to help out. I think as we spoke today, for this past 40 minutes, that's probably the most fulfilling thing that you can do for the world, for yourself, for you to start having this path for self-discovery, for self-empowerment. And hopefully all of us, right, will get out of this pandemic not only as
Yeah.
better individual, but as a better world. And I think that
Amen.
needs, right, and it's sort of demanding us to do that, right? So I
Totally.
this interview has inspired people to take action. I think, the time for that. So again, Lou, thank you so much for being you, for the work
Thank you.
that you do personally, but also for the work that you do in the company, and then the company does for
Thank
the world. Is just beautiful, beautiful to see. And thank you for the interview. Amazing.
Thank you so much. Again, I said it at the beginning, I admire you so much, and I'm very happy to be able to share this space with you. I'm at home, a kind of PJs, so you guys just came with me, like, you guys got me in a very vulnerable space, but I thought, I just want to be myself and make sure that I connect the best way possible in this conversation, because it's all about that. It's all about being real and understand that, as you said, we are all transforming, but hopefully we're all getting better together.
Sure. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you soon.